What is going on, battlers? Stix 10 here, and today we're going to take a look at the Bout 4 results and then my Week 5 rankings and the Bout coming up this week. If you're watching this, the Bout has already started probably, and results have been coming in, and you can follow me on Twitter for play-by-play on that as well. So let's jump right into Diamond Tier. First up, Marylanders PvP proved to be too much for Evan Stonks this week. Sweeps from Huntress and Hot Pocket helped the Marylanders. Every single Marylanders scored at least 1 point. And you can see there, Marylanders win by 7 in that one. In the upset of the week, Team Omega Lol came out firing, and the SoCal Swablues dropped from the sky with a sweep from Ashish, and Team Omega Lol had a lead 10-5 going into the last 2 matches. The Swablues needed a sweep to get the W. Mystic Mamba got the first sweep for the Swablues to make the score 10-8. Going into the last match, it was R6 Racing R6, who was undefeated this cycle in Master League, versus Monstars 50. Monstars 50 was able to sweep to secure the win for Team Omega Lol. What a match in that one. Team Omega Lol comes out on top by 5 versus SoCal Swablues. Wow. Now, next up, we've got the Cool Cats. Got off to a big lead and never looked back against the Canadian Shield On. They did end up winning 17-4. Sweeps by Aravel, Caleb Ping, Cochina Mum, and Auburn helped rack up the score in that one. And that does really help the Cool Cats in the rankings to stay in that second spot right now. Next up, Madison Miltanks gave the Chicago Stars a close match that came down to the last battle, falling just short of victory by 1 point. Nitro Buster and Hypnos Project HQ had sweeps for the Miltanks, gained 3 points for Chicago Stars, were Bulk 88 and Apina in that one. That was a really close match. They really close, and I'm really proud of what the Madison Miltanks did in that bout. Losing by 1 point, it's still a loss in that column, but they played it really close. And I did put Chicago Stars. They were down by 1 at one point, about halfway through the bout, a little over halfway, I guess. And so hats off to Madison Miltanks for getting close to that victory on that one. So after all those bouts, Chicago Stars remain atop the Diamond Tier this week. Cool Cats and Marylanders are at 2 and number 3 respectively. With the loss, I was debating where to place the Swablues. I settled on 4th, but they definitely needed to pick up some wins to avoid relegation. I think Team Omega Lol jumped several spots with their win. They're mixed to stay in Diamond Tier. Canadian Shield-Ons are in 6th, and Evan Stonks are dipped to 7th. Madison Miltanks were on the cusp of victory, but still added another L to their record. The Miltanks need to win out to have a chance of not relegating into Platinum. So that kind of rounds out our ranks this week. You can see where everybody's at. We are basing a lot of this on points now as well, and kind of their future matchups, and you'll hear me say that in some of the other ones. We'll go into some of those matchups as well. Madison Miltanks versus Evan Stonks. This is a must-win for both teams. Miltanks had such a strong showing last bout that they need to bring the same energy to this one to win. Evan Stonks needs to show some diamond hands this week to avoid relegation. I am going to give the victory here to Madison Miltanks by 1. I think it's going to be a close bout, but I think they pull it out in the end. Next up, we've got Cool Cats versus Marylanders PvP. This is the battle for second place in Diamond right now. A couple about to watch in this one. Palmer's Up versus Hot Pocket into Dungeon meta. It's going to be a great battle to watch. I think the Cool Cats win this one. Again, I think it's going to be a close bout. They're going to win by 1. Next up, we've got SoCal Swablues are looking to rebound this week, but they're facing undefeated and number 1 Chicago Stars. SoCal made a few changes to the roster, moving R6 Racing to Nightfall Field Specialist, where he will face Barnabas. That match is going to be a great one. Crystal Blue Pepsi is coming off the bench to battle in Nightfall as well. This will be the first appearance by Crystal Blue Pepsi for the Swablues. These changes, I think it's going to be a close bout, but I'm going to give the victory here to Chicago Stars by 1 as well. I think Diamond tier is going to see a lot of close battles this bout. We'll see how all of it shakes out, though. Canadian Shilgons need a win versus Team Omega Lol, but I think Omega is going to come out victorious in this one after tasting victory in the last bout. Fraggin' Wagon versus Monstars 50 should be an interesting match in Master League. Team Omega Lol +3 in this one. Now on to our platinum results here. We've got Deoxys, Alberta Forum got a solid victory against Wing Attack. Sheldon K got a sweep for Alberta, and Modix got one for the Wing Attack. Alberta won six of the seven matches in this one, and they did come out on top 13-8. Ohio Nation had a tough loss this week versus E4 champions. Arrow and ILQM swept for Elite Four, and you can see there they won. Elite Four did end up winning by 7. TNT Flingles continues to struggle in Platinum this week. They lost by 7 against Icy Wind. Icy Wind had sweeps from Dylan and the GOAT. Dojo Squad had a solid outing against PA Berserkers, winning by 7. Dojo swept Dungeon with Neil Armstrong and the 6'4 Ninja, getting sweeps there for him. Popcorn also swept in Ultra League and has an overall record of 11-1 in this cycle. Really impressive there. And then we've got Notre Blicliff had a sweep in Great League for the PA Berserkers. So back and forth there, but as far as sweeps, but obviously Dojo pulled out the victory there by 7 in that one. GG's to those competitors. And as for the rankings in this one, I know that's what you guys look forward to seeing. Elite Four and Dojo remain 1 and 2. Icy Wind jumped up to 3rd after their victory. Paper Berserkers fall to 5th, and Deoxys moves up to 4th. Wing Attack, Ohio Nation, TNT Flingles all remain in the bottom 3. I think 4 through 8 definitely has a chance of relegating, just based on their future battles that still are upcoming. I think the bottom 3 definitely have a pretty good chance of relegating or being in that last relegation battle there to go down to battling the 3rd place in gold tier. So we'll definitely see how that one plays out as we go forward. You see there, some of the teams are really struggling to score points in this one, but you can see PA Berserkers are only averaged 9.75 points per game that they've scored, but they are actually 2 and 2 on the season. So you can just kind of tell from that. You can look down through the list and see everything else. Now, on to Week 5 bouts. We've got Dojo Squad versus Wing Attack. Wing Attack could and likely will lose this bout. They still have a chance to avoid relegation, even with a loss, as their schedule gets a little easier in Week 6 and 7. Dojo can't sleep on Wing Attack, because if they do, they will take the L. But I've got Dojo in this one by 5. Elite Four champions look to stay undefeated against Deoxys Alberta Forum. I'm going to go ahead and put E4 on upset alert. If Alberta can win the points battle in Field Specialists, they win the match. And Deoxys Alberta Forum, I'm going to go +1 here. I think it is going to be a close bout there, and we'll see how that plays out. Ohio Nation really needs to give it everything versus Icy Wind this week. Great League will be a match to watch here with Mark Sun IRL against Wallower. And I think Icy Wind will freeze Ohio Nation in their tracks, and I'm going to give the victory here to Icy Wind +5 in that one. PA Berserkers versus TNT Flingles is a must-win for both teams to avoid relegation. I think the Berserkers just have a little bit more in them here and have a little bit better bout here for this one, and I'm giving them the victory +3 here in this bout. The battle for gold here really heated up this week. Aquatel Hunger First went all 7 rounds to get the 1-point victory over HV Pogo Dojo. It was tied at multiple points in the bout, and it came down to Great League with Nino getting the 2-1 victory to secure the W for Aquatel. Lucifer swept in Nightfall for Aquatel, and Kazizzle swept in Dungeon for HV Pogo Dojo. And I will say I got a prediction right finally. HV Pogo Dojo did actually lose by 1 as I predicted, so pat on back for me. However, you know, that I think that might be the first prediction I've gotten right as far as with HV Pogo Dojo in that one. So KK PvP Factions lost by 3 to Helmet Heroes. This loss shakes up the standings quite a bit, opens the door for lower ranked teams to win and promote this cycle. 1, 2, 3 Seiya swept in Nightfall for KK, and Alpha Phoebe, swept in Dungeon for the Helmet Heroes, and they did end up winning. Helmet Heroes did end up winning that one. Really good battles there. East Caliper squeaked out a victory versus Backstage Battlers. Zayzilla of East Caliber was the only sweep for either side. Backstage has really been struggling to put on points on the board, and we will see if they can turn it around. I'm not sure if they can, and that one was a 1-point victory there by East Caliber. Really does hurt Backstage Battlers in the standings. And then we got Team Michigangar really struggling against the winless Orlando faction, but managed a 1-point victory. Sweeps by Turd Ferguson and Carissa V helped Michigangar. Shadow JJ swept for Orlando to keep it close, and that is a 1-point victory by Team Michigangar. Very, very close bout there. Hats off to Orlando faction for that really close bout. And on to the official, unofficial Stix rankings for week 5 here in gold. We've got Aquatel Hunger Force remains on top for the gold tier. Team Michigangar move up to 2nd. HV Pogo Dojo in 3rd. Even with that loss, I felt like they had a really good bout there against Aquatel, and so I'm going to keep them in 3rd there, having that chance to promote up into Platinum. Helmet Heroes get the dub versus KK PvP Factions and move up to 4th. KK drop to 5th. East Caliber is 6th with Backstage Battlers in 7th and winless Orlando faction in 8th. Promotion spots and relegation spots are wide open in this tier with so many teams at 2 and 2 and below. It really is going to come down to the remaining schedule and then also how many points they have on the board at the end. So I think it's going to be very interesting. Gold tier, definitely all over the place. Definitely going to be some matches you guys want to watch in this one. KK PvP Factions versus Team Michigangar promises to have a lot of implications for where teams will finish. A win for Michigangar gives them the clear 2nd place, but a loss, and there is a potential for a 3-way tie here. I am going to give the victory here to Team Michigangar. I think they can pull it out. +1 for them this week. East Caliber versus Aquatel Hunger Force looks on paper to be a W for Aquatel. I would lean towards that as well. I think Aquatel breaks from their pattern of never scoring more than 13 this cycle and will win by 7. Bold prediction there that they're going to score a 14 in this bout. We'll see how it plays out there against East Caliper. HV Pogo Dojo and Helmet Heroes will be the bout to watch this week. It's going to be a close one. I think 2 bouts will be worth watching. 2 matches specifically in this bout will be worth watching. First is going to be Great League, Vegito versus Holden McNuggets. Gonna be a great matchup there. And then in Nightfall, Jerry Zingster, who's played all over, has played several different metas for HV Pogo Dojo, I think, versus Hangin' PJs. I think that's going to be a really good one to watch in that one, and I think there are going to be some fireworks flying in that one. I'll continue my tradition of going against HV Pogo Dojo, and I'm going to give the Helmet Heroes a victory by 1 point in this one. I think it is going to come down to that last match in that one. And finally, the battle for last place. Backstage Battlers versus Orlando Faction. With as open as this tier is, I could see the winner of this staying in gold if they win out. Orlando has a very tough path ahead since they still have to play Aquatel Hunger Force. I would give the advantage here, though, to Backstage Battlers +3. I think this is where their turnaround starts. They've got to get the victory this week. +3 Backstage Battlers. I want to start off silver tier results by apologizing to Northeast Battlers for putting the Body Slammers on upset alert. I'm sorry for awakening the sleeping Snorlax in this one. It woke up hangry, and NEB was on the receiving end of a huge body slam this week. Northeast Battlers go down 4-16 versus the Body Slammers. Sweeps by King Magikarp, In Cash, and K Donahue led the Body Slammers to victory. GDs to those teams. And then we've got C Kingpins lost by 5 to Mazer Gaming. Mazer Gaming swept Dungeon thanks to Silph World Champion Dunebug and Ali Lucky, both really great competitors. Ben Mopey got a sweep for the C Kingpins to keep it a little closer there, but they do end up losing by 5 in this one. Muddy Water got a 9-point victory over Pogo Raiders. Party Marty and MX Champ both got 3 points for Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters won 6 of the 7 matches. Really good matches in that one as well. Muddy Waters looking to keep rolling in the silver tier here. And Verified 50 Club struggled through this bout and lost 4-17 to Ann Arbor R-Box. The Ann Arbor had sweeps from Cheridos, Shiny Hunter Ben, and Soul Relami. Ann Arbor won all matches in this bout, and it was like, yeah, not very close in this one. V50 has definitely struggled so far in this tier. Now the rankings here for Silver. Silver is actually the most split tier in North America. There are no 2-2 teams right now in the Silver ranks. Mazer remains on top 4-0. The next 3 could all change, but right now with points scored and potential future matchups, this is where I'm placing them. Body Slammers and Muddy Water look to face off in week 6 or 7, and that will be the match that determines 3rd or 4th place, I think, in this tier. 5th through 8th have the potential to relegate. Sea Kingpins and Verified 50 have an easier route as they only have face one of the top 4 teams in the remaining weeks. Pogo Raiders and Northeast Battlers both have 2 of the next 3 bouts are going to be against top 4 teams, and I just think that's going to be proving to be too much. That's why I've got them in 7th and 8th. I think Body Slammers, Muddy Water, that's going to be who's playing for 3rd place. I think Ann Arbor is going to keep steady where they're at. So definitely, I think there is a lot of potential here for people to move around, but some people have a harder path than others in this one. The Northeast Battlers are going to face another tough opponent this week in Muddy Water. Don't think NEB wins this one. I think Muddy Water will want to score early and often in this one to help their case for getting into 2nd place. I've got Muddy Water in this one +5. And then I'm going to go Sea Kingpin versus Verified 50 Club. Both need to win to move into 5th and not face a relegation fight. I'm going to give the edge in this one to Sea Kingpin +3. I just think from their past matchups and who they've played, I feel like Sea Kingpin has a little bit of an advantage here. They've played some of the teams really close in their losses. So Sea Kingpin +3. Mazer Gaming will look to continue rolling against Pogo Raiders, and I have them winning this one by 7. I think it's going to be, it could be a week where Mazer Gaming kind of takes it easy. If they let off the gas too much, I think Pogo Raiders can definitely score on them. So we'll see how it goes, but I've got Mazer in this one by 7. And then the battle for 2nd place between Body Slammers and Ann Arbor R-Box. I would definitely watch the Aragorn is my king versus Cheridos. It should be a great league match that is definitely worth the watch there. And someone's win streak is Nightfall will end between K Donahue and 2016 T Douglas. That one's going to be an interesting one to watch as well. Both of them are undefeated in total bouts for Nightfall. Then I've got Ann Arbor in this one +1. I think it will be a really close bout there, and really going to be one to watch out for. Moving on to our bronze results here, we got the Utah Pokemon Rangers pulled out the upset win by 1 versus Hoosier Daddies. Hey, it's Mike. Added 3 for Utah, and Flower Slayer added 3 for Hoosiers. This really does hurt the Hoosiers' chances of moving up into the silver tier, but there's still a chance there because of how all the other bouts went as well. Insynchronize struggled to get wins in this bout, only securing 4 points against Pogoats. Pogoats had sweeps from LL Simi, My Pika Best Pika, Hoffa Duct, and I'm Kenny LOL. All those people got sweeps here for Pogoats. Pogoats really had a great outing here in this one and ended up winning 17-4 in that bout. And then next up, we've got Team Flareon fell to the undefeated CU Laters. 6 versus 15 here. CU Laters had a strong showing with sweeps by Sir Spencer, Arebs, and Nuclear. The latter two securing all 6 points in Nightfall as well. So really good outing there from CU Laters. Silph League SA San Antonio dropped a close bout to Play Rough Riders, losing by 1. Play Rough Riders really needed this win to have a chance of not relegating the cycle. Play Rough had sweeps by Maxter V and Adam the Spaniard. Airzone and Shoaljaw added 3 points apiece for Silph League San Antonio. Really disappointing loss here for Silph League. It does hurt their standings in it, but thankfully for them, because Hoosier Daddies also lost, really leaves it they're still have a chance of promoting, and it really depends on how they perform the next few weeks. Bronze tier is looking really spicy right now. See You Later is still undefeated in first place, with Pogoats in second at 3-1. Any of the remaining 6 could relegate since they each have 2 wins or less. As a reminder, the bottom 3 in bronze will auto relegate to open without a relegation bout. Again, I look at future matchups and current points scored to rank this week. I think Hoosier Daddies and Silph League SA both have similar paths, each having a top 2 team to battle against and then lower ranked opponents. Every point is going to matter in these matches. Insynchronize has a good chance of remaining in bronze at 5th. Utah has a couple of tough battles remaining in week 6 and 7, so they're sitting at 6 right now. Play Rough Riders' remaining schedule is rough, to say the least, with See You Later and Pogoats still left to battle. Team Flareon is still winless, and their schedule isn't really lighting up in the remaining weeks either. So you can see 1 through 8, this is where I've ranked them. And hopefully you guys use this for motivation if you guys are a lower ranked team here. And I definitely look forward to the future battles. All right, Play Rough Riders need to roll over Insynchronize this week to have a shot at staying in bronze. InSync is up to the task to handle Play Rough Riders, and I've got InSync in this one by 3. So +3 there for Insynchronize. I think they can handle Play Rough Riders, but Play Rough Riders did play pretty well last week, so we'll see how that one goes. Team Flareon is still searching for a dub and faces Utah Pokemon Rangers, who won last week versus Hoosier Daddies. However, maybe Flareon can pick up a W, but I wouldn't bet on it. I've got Utah on this one +3. Silph League San Antonio will look for revenge after losing by 1 to Play Rough Riders last week. The two Quails versus Cytochromet will be a great matchup to watch in this one. I think this could be a close bout overall, but See You Later will pull it out in the last battle. I think it is going to come down to the last battle, and I've got See You Later +1 in this one. Hoosier Daddies are looking to rebound, but face a tough opponent in Pogoats. My confidence in the Hoosiers is shaken, and I'm going to give this one to the Pogoats +3. The Pogoats have just been racking up points against a lot of teams, and I think +3 is really going to be a close bout there for the Pogoats. So hopefully you guys looking forward to some of these bouts. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to as well. All right, so that was the week 4 results and the week 5 rankings and bouts to watch. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you guys do, leave a like and a comment down below, and subscribe if you guys haven't already to the channel. Do appreciate it as always. I want to thank everybody that sent encouragements to me and just said how much they appreciate me doing these. Does definitely help me stay motivated in doing them and finding the time between all the real life stuff that I have going on to sit down and really do the research for this. And finally, I want to thank my Patreon supporter. As always, I appreciate what you guys do for the channel. The link for that is in the description down below. I do really appreciate that. And I want to end on a positive note here. Just thank you guys for everything you've done. And as always, keep on battling.